Off the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone goal.
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from SEC Media Days in Tampa. Going to be joined now by Blain Crain. On 3 now.
Yes, sir.
Look at you.
Made it.
Moving on up.
Yep, we made
the
it.
Jeffersons.
Yeah. God, it's just feels great.
It is a crazy rise, and congratulations on it, by the way. But I remember talking with your brother Jake, and he was like, basically holding the equipment together as he was interviewing me. And that wasn't that long ago. He was like holding it together so it didn't fall apart. And to go from that, and y'all have had a couple of different stops and a lot of elevation, which, again, congratulations on all that. But how quickly everything's kind of come together for y'all.
Man, I swear, I might be in a coma. You know, like sometimes I think I don't know if it's real. Just the way that it happened from starting in the back. I'm the only one down here. My brother's hopefully they're having a baby next week. And
I figured that was a situation.
Has like 14 kids, so you know they sent.
Who among us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been crazy. Just the stops and started in the back of my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And, Colin Cowherd, the Daily Wire, and now.
When was that? How long ago was that y'all started?
It's 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was COVID. It was COVID. Like me and my brother were both coaching. And
was Jake? Was it J-Boy?
Yeah, it was the
That's what
J-Boy
he
show.
is,
Yeah, it was the J-Boy show.
Yes.
Trust me, he still has sweatshirts he wears around with his face on it. That's what's the J-Boy show. So I don't let him go out in public that much with it. But no, man, it's been a crazy turn of events. We're blessed. Yeah. We're extremely blessed.
In Nashville now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's
Love
right.
it.
I mean.
And the good thing about it, like when we went from the Daily Wire to On 3, we both in Nashville.
Right there,
like,
right.
5 minutes away from each other.
So you're getting a chance to see the city grow because it's, the fastest growing city for sure. But you know what you also get to see? Vanderbilt football on the rise.
Love it. I'm telling you, doesn't get talked about enough. Clark Lee, I mean, I know
Stud.
James Franklin won maybe 10 games or something like that twice there, but what he's building there, I know Diego Pavia's gone. They lost some pieces. But this Jared Curtis kid, seeing him in person, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
He might be 14 years old. 1, he's a giant. But 2, he's got all the ability. Obviously, he's young. He's going to have some learning curves and stuff like that. But Vandy's not going anywhere.
Right.
And
I don't think so either.
And it seems like Clark Lee's not going anywhere either.
No, he's home.
I don't think it's one of these, like, let's build this up and then go take the Texas job. But I think
it feels like it's home. And, like, the C-suite's staying the same. The OC, the DC, they got a blueprint right there right now that's working, and they're sticking to it.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Beck's done an incredible job. We were talking about that earlier. It's not trick 'em stuff. It's actually ball plays that they execute at a high level. Steve Gregory, I was teammates with him for a long time in the NFL. That guy is incredibly sharp. I think last year was a big year for him, too.
Sure.
Because, Clark's like, hey, it's yours now. Like, this is your defense. I'll be here. Like, I'll watch film with you, but it's now your defense. And as you know, that's a big deal whenever the head coach is kind of the D coordinator. He goes, all right, I'm trusting you. Here's the keys. And then Steve did what he did, and they went 10-2.
Yeah, it's not Vanderbilt's not winning football games because of luck anymore. Like you look at those guys get off the bus and you're like, wow, they belong, right? And it's not finesse football. A lot of RPO game, but they'll run it straight at your teeth, and
no doubt.
You got to live that way in the SEC, especially week in, week out.
Yeah, let's talk about today, like what we're seeing here on, I guess, digital drive, radio, whatever.
Like digital drive.
That doesn't make any sense.
NASCAR?
No, it's just they're just making stuff up at this point.
They're just making stuff up to sound cool, church it up a little bit. That's okay. But look, you got Alabama, Alabama, you got Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Like, what's a couple of storylines that you're hoping to kind of get out of, whether it's the players, whether it's the coaches, whatever it is today?
Well, the big thing with me, we had Kayla DeBoer on, and the fact that Alabama and Oklahoma, you can put in the same boat, made the playoff last year is insane to me, because Alabama and Oklahoma were one of the worst running teams in the country. Like, I know you had Ty Simpson, but you got to know what Alabama football is. With all the skill position players they had, the Julio Joneses, you can go through the list. Like, Alabama won all those national championships because they killed people up front on both sides of the ball. And it's going to be interesting this year because I don't think a finesse head coach can fit at Alabama for too long. And I think right now, Ryan Grubb, even going back with the Seahawks, he kind of had a little bit of complaints of not running the ball enough. So my big thing is the mentality at Alabama. Is it going to stay the same, or are they going to be, hey, we're going to throw it 40 times a game, we're going to live on the outside, don't worry about the trends? Because I don't think college football is trending that way anyway. I think it's always a pendulum. It swings back and forth. Running a ball is still very important, especially in the SEC, to pull wins out. But the big thing, one, John Summerall, two, it's just there's so much excitement at Florida right now. It feels so different than when Billy Napier was there.
That's what,
it's just the vibes that are Florida right now are extremely high, and I'm a big John Summerall guy, so I'm interested to see his imprint on how quick he can place his mentality in that team, just absolutely vibe around.
We said this earlier today. There's going to be some people that don't know John Summerall, maybe didn't follow him at Tulane, and we've had a chance to catch up with him a bunch. There's going to be half that room that's going to be like, okay, I see it now. I'm going to change my view on Florida just based off him at the podium, I think.
It was a winner. Everywhere he's been, he's a winner, and he's not Nick Saban, I know that, but he's got the same little bit of that mentality, and I think that's what Florida needs. Like, it's not like you're lacking athletes at Florida, and I think Florida's one of the most interesting teams. If they can patchwork that offensive line together where it's acceptable and okay, and I don't know who's going to start a quarterback. What I've been hearing some rumbling is going to be the Tramel Jones kid. I know you bring Buster Faulkner over, Philo from Georgia Tech. That fit's already there in that chemistry. If Florida can get back to just playing Florida, because it was just, I remember watching Florida play on Saturdays, and the guys they had running around in there would keep me up at night. The Brandon Spikes, the Carlos Dunlaps, the Major Wrights, it's those type of guys.
We played against all those fellas.
Problem. Legitimately. Well, I mean, Hesse, you were different. You know what I'm saying? You just ran everybody over.
No, but they still they kept coming.
Yeah, they weren't afraid.
He had no option. He has the shortest bow legs ever.
I know. Hey,
he had to run people.
They had one direction.
They had one move. But it worked. It worked.
They couldn't make anybody miss. That's for sure.
Let's not forget that today, walking these halls is going to be what I think probably the best quarterback leading into the college football season in Trinidad Chambliss. So. That whole, with the Lane Kiffin, the Pete Golding situation, not a lot of people have, I don't know how much availability they're going to give their kids or not, but what do you want to hear from the Ole Miss players?
I don't want to hear anything about LSU. I don't want to hear, because to be honest with you, Louisville's a good football team.
They are.
Jeff Brom will have those guys ready to go, so you can't look over a team like that. Ole Miss needs to be focused on Ole Miss. And to be honest with you, if you think any other quarterback is better than Trinidad Chambliss after last year, I just can't trust you.
Yeah, you didn't watch the Georgia game.
You didn't watch football.
I can't, if you're just crowning Arch Manning for no reason, watch the tape, go through the tape. Trinidad Chambliss it's not even that close to me. I mean, we'll see what Sam Levitt is from a health standpoint.
At least going into the season. He finished the season as, no doubt, second-best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I mean, they get that ball back against Miami. I think they win that football game at the end of the day. So, and I think they give Indiana a run for their money. But, no, I think Pete just needs to be Pete, not try to do too much.
He is. You know that.
Lane wants to drag you in it now. If you want to get dragged into the deep water of trolling and do all this, that's a tough guy to go against. All right, Pete just needs to focus on Pete and Ole Miss and what they can do to have a good football season. Because look, I know he hadn't gone through a whole season, but he went toe to toe with Darth Vader in the playoffs. And Kirby Smart and won that football game. So I believe in Pete and that program he's building right now.
Over under cuss words at the podium for Pete's going to be 3.5.
Over. I'll take the over. You could have said 5.5, and I'll take the over. If it gets close, I'll ask a question to get him going.
That's the part of him that I actually do love, is that's just him. And it doesn't matter if you're playing a round of golf with him, if you're talking football on a whiteboard, if he's at a podium at SEC Media Day, he's going to be Pete Golding.
Pete's going to be Pete, and that's what makes him great. He's a DC. Look, and the DCs are different types of guys. It doesn't matter the setting. They're going to be themselves. And that's what I think that Ole Miss needed. I think when you look at the hires around the country, Pete's going to be a really good fit with them, and to keep the OC in-house. I mean, look, Ole Miss, I don't think Ole Miss is just going to wake up and disappear, especially bringing back two stars that you have in the backfield. I think Ole Miss is going to be in the conversation at the end of the year.
Well, it's Pete's first full year as the head coach there. He's going to have an opportunity to do one of the hardest things to do that he's going to have, you've already mentioned it, is keep his team focused on Louisville. So he's going to have the opportunity to do one hell of a coaching job early and often, and he's got the best quarterback in college football. And a lot of the reason for that hype is Lane Kiffin, of course. So let's get to it. What a Lane Kiffin, your thoughts, what you want to hear from him, and just kind of your overall thoughts of how situation played out and Lane Kiffin as the LSU head coach. Right?
Yeah, well, the calendar in college football sucks. I think
it's awful.
We can all admit that. I feel like the SEC kind of missed an opportunity to put LSU and Ole Miss on the same day. That would be fun from my perspective. But is it just me? And I want to get y'all's opinion on this. It's everywhere I turn, left and right. If LSU doesn't win the national championship this year, guys, if they didn't do that, if Lane doesn't win the Masters, come home with the Olympic gold medal, win a hot dog eating contest, it's a failure.
We talked about that. It's like, that's wild behavior.
It's crazy.
To say that they got to get to the national championship game. They got to be successful, no doubt about it. But if you get to the college football playoff after how bad it has been after last year's 7 wins and playing in a Texas Bowl, LSU fans, we're boots on the ground. We're there every day. Sure. They would be thrilled.
There's no other coach in the country year one that's getting this type of behavior.
The SEC, I was telling him earlier, they hadn't played for a championship in 3 years.
Yeah.
And you're telling this guy he's got to at least make it to that game to be a success?
It's insane to me. And I understand trying to get clicks and stuff like that. I get it. But sooner or later, you have to really sit down and think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's LSU, Lane Kiffin needs to fix LSU first,
yes.
Right? That's what he needs to bring back what LSU was about. And I think y'all are going to be really good this year. Obviously, it depends on one thing. I'm hearing Sam Levitt's healthy. Yeah. That's going to be a massive part of it. You do have a veteran backup.
He ran 21 miles per hour.
And he's dunking on field goal posts. Yeah. So, I
thought that's where you were going to say. That's your go-to line.
I've said this, since Lane got hired. It's a huge hire. It's a great hire for LSU. But I think it's just as important that they kept Blake Baker on the other side of the ball.
Oh, yeah.
That's his biggest recruit.
Yeah, because LSU's at their best when that defense is at their best. I mean, I think LSU's going to be a problem this year. As long as Sam's good to go with that offense, that offensive line, especially Jordan Seaton, who's going to be a top 5 pick to me. And a guy who's not getting talked about, Jace Brown from Kansas State. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you haven't gone and watched his tape, this kid's going to be the next thing at LSU. And also you have Groot at tight end, 6'7", who could go play power forward right now in the NBA if he wanted to. And I think he has a chance to actually be the best tight end to come through LSU.
I'm very excited to see how that staff utilizes Trey Green. I mean, they're going to make sure they do it the right way. I mean, even last year, Ole Miss had a tight end that didn't have anywhere close to the skill set, and he was a really good player. He made big plays for them. I do agree with you. Last thing, and we'll let you get out of here, Blaine. I think LSU and Ole Miss have to be careful week 1.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about week 3, and I understand why. I don't think Clemson's a good football team. I think they're okay. But they're still Clemson. Mm-hmm. They're still going to come in. They're going to have some Jimmies and Joes. Not as many as you, but they're going to have them. LSU has to be careful, and I think Ole Miss has to be careful with Louisville, because if you're looking too far ahead, and certainly Louisville's a better football team maybe than even Clemson. We'll have to see
I agree with that.
Those two teams have to be careful. We've all seen the game that's week 3. But you're not playing directional school. You're playing Clemson and Louisville.
Yeah, and that's the job of the head coach.
Yeah.
Right? That's the job of the head coach of keeping guys. The Ole Miss for LSU shouldn't even be mentioned until that week. Same goes for the other side. So that's going to fall on both the head coaches. But I believe both these guys will get there. Because when it comes to LSU, look, you're at the point now where you can't overlook any game.
Yeah.
It's not like you've been winning 10, 11 games a season. Every game has to matter. So I think that'll fall on the head coaches, but I think they'll get it right and get the job done.
All right, Blaine, we appreciate it, sir. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Blain Crain on 3. Yeah, even though he's here, his brother got a decent excuse.
Yeah. Decent.
Jake back home.
Fine. Have a baby.
About to have a child. Can you imagine you missed the birth of your child for being at SEC Media Days? That wouldn't be good.
Well, I mean, there's no bigger venue in the world than this right here.
A lot of good stuff there. The Ole Miss Louisville game, something we talked about earlier in the week, and you heard me a couple weeks ago talk about LSU and Clemson. I think it could be the biggest trap game of the year for LSU. So, all right, we will step away here. Before we do, I want to tell you about our friends over at Bath Fitter. Bathfitter.com is the website. Now, you can go there and you can check out what they can do for you, but we want to remind you, okay, when you're thinking of changing your space, I know you're probably thinking it's going to be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. It's going to be a construction zone. There's going to be debris everywhere. It's going to be a mess in your house. That is not the case. Bath Fitter is going to come in as little as 1 day, they can completely transform your bathroom, your space. So we want you to go to bathfitter.com, get everything scheduled up. Remember, you can go see Bath Fitter of Baton Rouge as well, bathfitter.com. More OTB when we come back here live from SEC Media Days.
Off the bench. Live from the 2026 SEC Football Media Days in Tampa. Presented by FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Relief Windows, Rev Fiber, and Parrish Construction and Roofing.
You were my sun. You were my earth. You didn't know all the ways I loved you. No. So you took a chance.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Well done, Alondra, a little JT. Every time we're on location, it's always the biggest banger, and I'm like, I'm letting this thing breathe for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I heard JT's voice. What's the song where the videos them as
Bye?
No,
or It's Gonna Be Me.
Is that it? Where they're like marionette?
I think so.
Was it that the puppet?
Yeah, I think it's the puppet.
On the
yeah.
strings,
yeah.
marionettes.
Yeah, It's Gonna Be Me.
Yeah, we nailed that. Okay. That's what I think about. So I started doing this dance. If anybody was wondering what I was doing.
That was in sync actually.
I mean, it was JT though. I mean, I get that.
I mean, JC was the lead singer. Let's go ahead and get that out there. I think we all know that JC was the lead singer of NSYNC. He had the most solos. He had the most individual parts.
I agree. I get it.
All right. Well,
was JT the best second string? Star? Was he the best second string in the history of bands?
Yes.
Is there any other second string that made it bigger in the solo world?
Paul McCartney
did decent. He did
okay. He had a run.
He did pretty good. Good question. Billy's here.
Oh, I mean, we'll ask Billy. I think Billy's got a great answer to Billy Liucci, our guy from Tex Ags. Before we get started here, was the lead singer of NSYNC JC or Justin Timberlake?
It depends on the song.
Okay, now we got a whole different layer to it. Okay.
I think it was JC or what?
JC.
What's the guy with the brother though? Oh, that's Backstreet Boys. Nick Carter. I was like, wait, that guy was. Yeah. I don't. Timberlake had a couple where he was.
Yeah, and he had a huge career, but he wasn't the lead singer of NSYNC.
No.
What's up, Billy? How we doing, man?
I'm good.
Good to have
Who's
you,
the lead
man.
singer here?
This guy. But I'm more like JT.
Yeah.
I'm more like
You got more upside.
I'm JC. He's JT. He's that guy like in the old Motown, band that would go away from the microphone, then come in real quick and be like, ooh, and then walk back out. Yeah. That's that guy.
I'm the bass guy.
The bass.
How's this week been for you? We've had a chance to catch up with you a little bit here, a little bit there. It's always a little wild and crazy for you.
I know. It's, this has been a lower key. I actually snuck off to the beach yesterday afternoon. I was a little further than I thought.
How hard did you sneak? Or did you say, hey, guys, y'all got this, I'm out?
That's what I said.
I'm going to the beach.
I always give them a hard time because, we came with 7 of us, so it's me and 6 others. And I'm like, hey, I pay all 6 of y'all. I'm investing money to get back time.
Yes.
And they do a great job. Y'all know. They do. And so it's cool to not worry about it. But, 3.5 days here. I'm leaving midday tomorrow. But I'm going to go. I have a friend here in Tampa. So I just went to Clearwater. It was... I honestly, I think I was in the ocean for 17 minutes, but I just want some salt water. My hair looked good last night.
Good
after that, yeah.
Where does somebody that lives in College Station, when you go to the beach, because you have beaches, close to you, but do you go to the Panhandle, the Florida beaches?
Most people in Texas do. I wouldn't say I've been all over the country. There's a couple of very notable spots I haven't been that are kind of mind-boggling. Northern California, I've never done, which is weird. Never been to D.C. And I've never been to the white sand beaches, Florida, where everyone in Texas, everyone in the SEC.
That's very surprising.
And you know, like all of us, we know people with houses there.
Every NFL head coach has one there.
Yep, and every one of your friends, and especially for y'all, but you're a Texas guy. Everyone in Texas knows people. Every Aggie, every LSU, you know, never done it. And I really wanted to last summer. I was at Pate's wedding in Biloxi, and I knew a girl that was there, and she said, "Come, we have a house." And I had a second wedding in Tennessee the next day. I almost skipped it.
So popular. I got too many weddings.
But with that said, where do we go to beaches? You know, you ain't going to Galveston to get in the water.
How many 30A stickers are on the back of cars in College Station?
College Station, not a lot.
Okay. No Salt Life stickers.
Aggie wise, there's a ton of Aggies but I don't. 30. I never knew what a 30A sticker was till that Morgan Wallen song. I didn't know who he was, or 30A sticker on her back. When, I was like, okay, the 30A is the beach. But no, I think you go down to like Padre, Corpus, like that area down there, Port Aransas. That's made a come up.
Our producer back in studio just got back from there. She said it was incredible.
Yeah. There's a thing called like Cinnamon Shores now that it's kind of like a copy, copy of what you see all through that part of Florida. But so it's okay. But to me, I would go there. But I would probably just get on a plane and go to like Nantucket or Cabo.
Oh, there you go. Why not? If you
do it. I mean, when in Rome.
I'm debating in August. I'm either doing Nantucket or Whitefish, Montana.
Whitefish.
I've never been.
Yeah, I'll choose a mountain over a beach any day of the week.
I agree. I'm with you there.
So Billy, everybody here knows you. You got people all over the place. You've done this a long time. You've got a lot of really cool relationships, a lot of cool stories. Like in the last 12 months, what's the coolest sporting event that you've been able to go to?
Sporting event. I mean, I went to the World Cup, but it was Canada, Morocco. Wasn't like
two good teams.
Yeah, and it ended up being a crazy. It was 1-0 until like a few minutes left. But I would say, I mean, honestly, it was A&M at Notre Dame. It really was. Like, I'd never been to South Bend. Yeah. The game was obviously one of the games of the year in college football. It was one of those breakthroughs for A&M that they don't have enough of. So that was, and then the fact that it was, a fourth down finish, and you made a weekend of Chicago out of it. So I would say that was the coolest. I haven't been to.
How was the fan base? Like, were they loud? Were they?
They were louder than I thought, and their fans were even saying this is the loudest it's been.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
In recent memory, because they were coming off a national title game appearance. They had lost to Miami. There was a bye week in between. I think they were completely desperate, and the way that game was going. It was just a back and forth. It was cool. I would, not a sporting event, but I did get a call from Johnny a few weeks ago, say, hey, let's go to, you want to come down to Houston and grab dinner? I said, sure. We went to just casual dinner. Ended up the rest of the night with Drake. So that was
okay. All right.
Not a sporting event, but
Drake roots for every team, so kind of like a sporting event.
I'm trying to get him on board. I'm trying to get him towards A&M. We even talked about that. Well, he's got a ranch in Chapel Hill. By Brenham.
Okay.
So he's 40 minutes away from College Station. It's like, dude, like.
But there's the Drake curse is real.
Well, what have we won? What have we won?
That's another fair point.
Good point too.
That's another
We're like
fair
a match made in heaven.
That's a good point too. Maybe,
just go off vibes and good times.
Maybe the Drake curse would be LSU beats A&M.
Oh no,
that would be
get back into those.
That's true.
I guess we got to get to the sports stuff. We'll ask you about A&M. It does feel like, and you know me, you know my relationship with Jimbo Fisher. I love Coach Fisher, and before Mike Elko got there, that year y'all had going to the Orange Bowl, maybe the best year, certainly in recent memory, right? So it was great. It was good. Coach Elko feels like he's even elevated past that, and it feels like it is very steady, and it feels like you have finally found the guy that's going to be there for a long time, that's going to make sure the ship is steering in the right direction, and you're going to achieve things that you haven't, year after year after year, consistency.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that to me. It feels like every box you want him to check, every coach you hire, right? It's all about the coaches. Like, I'm older than y'all. I know y'all will pretend you're old, but I'm older. I remember you guys as recruits, but I also remember when A&M would go into LSU and they just like dust on the shoe. Curly Hallman, Jerry DiNardo.
Right. Yep.
You could pick any program. You can pick Texas. The coaches before Mac Brown, between him and Darrell Royal. The coaches since until Sark. You can do that to Michigan, Miami, Florida State, Alabama.
Yeah.
Nick Saban brought Alabama and LSU back. So every program, USC's been going through it. OU went through it. You got to find that guy.
Yeah.
And I think Mike Elko could be A&M's Bob Stoops. I almost said A&M's Mark Stoops, which is
Mark does some things in Lexington now.
That is a very no, but I was saying
like that
we almost was. He was Mark Stoops.
That's true. Mark Stoops almost was Mike Elko. But for a couple minutes.
But I think he's A&M's Bob Stoops, and from the standpoint that I just think he's going to be. Like you said, the guy for a long time, and he gets it on every level. It's the NIL, it's the coaching, it's the culture. And one thing I think even A&M fans underestimated, and I can tell he gets prickly about it. He thinks people are surprised by how well he recruits, and I think it annoys him and pisses him off. It's like, why? Why do people think I can't recruit? Yeah. He's been incredible on the recruiting front. People go, well, it's NIL. Yeah, there's about a dozen teams that play the NIL game at like the A++ level.
Right.
Every guy that LSU gets, A&M wanted, Texas, any guy A&M wants gets. So he can recruit, and I think this year's big for him, though, guys. Like, not in terms of make or break, but just if they can get back after losing 10 NFL picks and say, we reload here at A&M, we don't rebuild. Right. And that's what carried you guys for so long. It's hard to do, and they have a chance to do it this year.
All right, Billy, you're the man.
All right, fellas.
Going to appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
See you a little bit later on. That's right. I hate that you get to leave early here from SEC Media Day and just go to the beach. So, Billy Liucci, Texas, is good enough to join us. Drew Fabianich is going to join us, the executive director of the Senior Bowl, when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to PelicanRoofing.com, PelicanRoofing.com. Pelican Roof is, a place in Lafayette. It's in Baton Rouge. It's boots on the ground in both, and they do incredible service in both. We tell you that every day because we don't want you to think that they're not in one place and they're just driving back and forth on the basin. Pelican Roofing is there in the local communities, and it means something to them. They're always doing something in the local communities in Lafayette, in the surrounding areas, in Baton Rouge, and those surrounding areas as well. It is 5-star reviews, over 600 on the website. PelicanRoof.com is the website, PelicanRoof.com.
And look, maybe you don't know if you need a new roof, but you think, man, the roof's kind of old. Let me see how it's hold up. Well, they can come out and give you a consultation and tell you, they might say, look, you don't need a new roof. Let's just patch this up. Or maybe it's nothing. Or, if you do have to do that full new roof, they're going to guarantee a project manager dedicated to just your job. And they can help you with the financing options as well. Go to PelicanRoof.com. Right on the homepage at the top, click the finance button, help you a whole step of the way. PelicanRoof.com.
Live from the 2026 SEC Football Media Days in Tampa. Presented by FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Relief Windows, Rev Fiber, and Parrish Construction and Roofing.
If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here, live from SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. We are joined now by the Commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, joins us here. And Commissioner Sankey, it's always a pleasure. We love having you, and I promise you, we are not talking NIL. We're not talking Congress. We're not talking anything like that. Last year, we had you, and I made you a promise. When you sit down with us, we're going to have fun. We're going to talk about all the other things and not the stuff that you've got to talk about here for 4 straight days.
I'm a little concerned because I'm prepared for all those other things, so who knows where this is going to go.
Hey, we were talking right before we hopped on, Oklahoma winning the College World Series, just adding another feather to the cap of SEC baseball, and it shows you the depth of the conference. It shows you that, like any team, because of how many good players and coaches we have in this league, if they get hot at the right time, and there's a formula in Omaha, and they figured it out.
Yeah, Skip Johnson, to be specific, as they walked through the Omaha experience, repeatedly talked, and I didn't ask him to do this, about how conference play, despite that 11th place finish, had prepared that team where every weekend feels like a regional or super regional. Yeah. So then when you're in a regional or super regional, it's another weekend.
Yeah.
And you're going to be up, you're going to be down, you're going to face great talent, but you have the competence to continue to play. And I was sharing during that conversation, I was on a video conference with people not affiliated with the SEC when the home run goes over center field, Oklahoma beats Georgia Tech, and I yelled out loud. And people are like, what's going on? Like, this stuff actually means something to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Commissioner Sankey, so we discussed this last year, but I got to commend you today. A great job picking out the colors of the outfit today. I know it is probably
There's a story here, too.
It's probably very strategic based on the teams coming in and how you pick. But, like, during the World Series, multiple SEC teams obviously vying for a national championship. Now, as teams get eliminated, do you feel a little bit more freedom to wear any team's particular color if they're the last ones left?
So here's a true story. Yesterday I had a green tie with a little bit of orange.
Okay.
I wore that to our Legends dinner in Atlanta in 2018, the night before the Auburn-Georgia SEC championship game, and Georgia's president looks at my tie and says, "Nice you wear an Auburn tie," just because there's these little micro centimeter bits of orange. Yeah. So when I go to Omaha, I have left home usually a week before, and we may have 3 or 4 teams still in. So I have a lot of green polo shirts and green quarter zips, and like people will ask, like, I'll be asked that question because my colleague was there and he's got North Carolina colors on from the ACC. And there are 2 things. One, I had so many teams. This is like my problem. Nobody has this problem. I've got so many teams. It could have been any number of colors. Green is a safe color for me. So I was in green the whole time. When Vanderbilt, Mississippi State played in 21, I ran out of green. And I had a black pullover. And I walked in and said hello to Mississippi State's president, and he says, Game 3. He says, "Nice you wear your Vanderbilt colors." Black and gold. That's all I had. So
you can't win for losing.
I am careful about doing that. And lastly, once I will wear ties. In fact, if you look at me on the stage with Joe Burrow, I had a purple tie on.
There you go.
But people will take those at some point and say, well, look, he's a fan of this school based on the color of ties. So I'm actually a lot more careful than you.
Is it safe to say, if there's ever expansion, new teams get welcome into the SEC? Is it safe to say no green teams? Notre Dame.
If you come in,
you can't come.
Otherwise, I'm stuck with brown, which is just not. I like green. I probably shouldn't joke about that in this environment. But yeah, no green.
Okay.
Commish, what do you do to get away sometimes from all this? I know you're a big music fan. And you and I have had great discussions about your love for U2 and going to see a concert. We were talking the other day, funny enough, about the Buffalo Bills. Now that I'm on the NFL side of things over on Sirius XM, it's fun to talk a little NFL. I was like, have you been to the new stadium? You're like, I hadn't been since the 80s because you probably haven't had time to go to a Buffalo Bills game. For you to get away from all this craziness, will you have a chance to? Have you had a chance to do something for yourself and you and your wife?
We've been to 3 or 4 concerts since Destin, which is a nice, few hours. We went to see Kenny Chesney at the Sphere, which was fun.
Yeah. Could you wear your Tennessee orange in that moment?
The people next to me did. And they knew who I was. I actually there was an SEC crowd. I took more photos.
Oh, I bet you did.
With people that evening than I have at any other concert. We got to see Alan Jackson's farewell concert.
Oh, that's awesome. We talked about that on the show.
It was really neat. I mean, and it was interrupted by weather, but he played 2 hours, and just there was a level of attachment and emotion there. The Kenny Chesney was. I texted him afterwards because we've become text friends, and said, I don't know if you feel it from the stage, but the connection with your audience is really special. And a group called Third Day, the Christian group, they won a bunch of awards, like award-winning Dove Awards, Grammys, and they were at Red Rocks with Michael W. Smith, which was a great night.
Red Rocks is incredible.
And I got to go backstage. I know Mark Lee, the guys that founded it. Actually, all of them, Ty Anderson, and got to walk through the tunnel I've heard about at Red Rocks where all the artists have signed, so that was pretty cool.
There might not be a better place to see a concert, Commish, than Red Rocks.
I would agree. It's pretty special on a good night. We went there once and lightning interrupted it, so that was not a good night as a venue. We have a little lake place where I grew up, where I spend a few weeks, but you never get away. So the concerts, generally my phone doesn't ring.
Yeah.
But like the last couple of weeks, I've been up there trying to prepare for this, trying to wind down, and it just hasn't stopped. It's been nonstop this summer, but at least the view's nice.
At least the concerts, if your phone is ringing, you can't hear it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So you should ignore it altogether.
That's right.
Usually people will understand that.
Yeah.
It did ring a couple times.
Whoopsies. Commissioner, so SEC has the best info. So Jake and I, we've played in a lot of different stadiums, NFL stadiums, and there's a lot of good atmospheres, a lot of good crowds. SEC is the best, bar none. The World Cup this summer had some pretty cool environments. Do you think that the World Cup crowd environment came close to matching that of an SEC crowd?
I was invited to World Cup games, but I go to enough games, and I didn't want to travel anymore. I went to a friendly game between FC Barcelona and Scottish Celtic in Dublin in 2017, and Messi played. I didn't really know enough, but people told me it was a big deal then. When Barcelona got up 3-0, as they would say.
3-0, as I would say it, yeah. 3-0.
All the Scottish fans had green and white rugby-style shirts on. They turned around, backs to the pitch, as I'm told it's called.
I am loving your soccer lingo right now.
Put their arms around each other, swayed back and forth, and sang some song.
Yeah.
And it was, I said to my wife, I said, this feels like one of our games. Yeah. Because you'll have that, Texas A&M will put their arms around each other and sing the Aggie War hymn. So, there are parallels there. I like our sport better. And I said the other day, as big as that is, our football attendance average is the highest average sports league attendance in the world. Yeah. So there's something special. I'll finish with this. One of my memories was it was that 2019 season. I was at the Auburn LSU game in Baton Rouge on Saturday. I went to a Houston Texans game on Sunday. I think the Raiders were at the Texans. And I've done this with Falcons on a Sunday because I'm invited, given our relationships there, and go to an Auburn home game or a Georgia home game to get to Atlanta. Man, the difference between Saturday and Sunday and the environment and the feel and the vibe is like night and day. Yeah. Night and day.
I gotta tell you a story where I was a rookie, and I guess I was just young and couldn't help myself. So I get drafted to San Diego, and when you get drafted, you go to like a stadium party for all the fans, and we're in the stadium for the first time, and there's a guy walking us around, and he's like, we walk out of the tunnel, and he goes, "Can you imagine Qualcomm Stadium, 68,000 people screaming for you?" And I am such a turd. I raised my hand, Commissioner. I was like, "Hey, is this a non-conference game that we're up in the third quarter?" And he's like, he just like got so defeated. I'm like, why'd you do that? I couldn't help myself. I'm like, Sunday's not Saturday. Yeah. Saturday, it's 100,000 people screaming, loving you, living and dying by everything that you do there. And there's nothing that can replicate that. And so even to that same conversation, like when I go cover a game now at Vanderbilt, knowing that what it was when we played there to what it is now, it's incredible. It's an environment that they've done a really good job. And it's never going to be 100,000 people, but now it's theirs and it's unique to them, and it's a great atmosphere.
And, I'll go back to, I think it was 2009, Alabama, LSU, end of regulation, field goals blocked. Alabama was kicking, LSU blocks a field goal. That was the loudest noise in a moment I've ever experienced. Like that, and you realize it's disorienting. When you're down in the field and all of that's directed here. So whether you're a player or a coach or an official, like being in that environment doesn't just magically happen that everything works, because it's just so different from anything else you will experience.
All right, Commissioner, we appreciate your time. Hopefully we got it all figured out what you're going to wear for the rest of the week. I think you probably already got it figured out.
This is one of these trips I packed for 3 weeks ago. So
you want to make
was
sure.
In such bad shape, I had to send it out to be pressed. So it was supposed to be yesterday, so it was less strategic than this.
Well, we appreciate
the conference colors.
It looks great. It looks great. Well, we apologize that you got to get back to the other stuff now. But we've had some fun with you.
Appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Commissioner Greg Sankey, good enough to join us here on OTB. We've got more coming back your way when we jump back here live from Tampa, Florida.
Off the bench.
All right, go see our friends over at Central Plumbing. CentralPlumbing.org is the website. And remember, it is in Central, of course, but it's also in the greater Baton Rouge area, and it is also in Lafayette now. That's right. They are expanding. They are growing. And it's not only in emergencies. It's also if you're looking to upgrade at your home, at your business, they can come in and they can do that as well. Go to CentralPlumbing.org.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org. The experts in the, well, for a long time, just the Baton Rouge area. But now Baton Rouge, Lafayette, they got you covered. Water lines, gas lines, it doesn't matter. They can do it all. The Payton family, third generation company over there. They've been doing it a long, long time. There's nothing too big, nothing too small, nothing too crazy that they cannot handle. So go to centralplumbing.org today, centralplumbing.org.
Live from the 2026 SEC Football Media Days in Tampa. Presented by FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Relief Windows, Rev Fiber, and Farish Construction and Roofing.
No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name, say my name.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here, one final segment, SEC Media Days. We're going to talk a little Senior Bowl. Drew Fabianich joins us to do so, the Panini Senior Bowl, executive director of the game. Always a pleasure. One of our favorite guys. Love going to the Senior Bowl every single year. Drew, how we doing?
Good. Feel real good about it because I'm not 5 months behind like I was last year. I mean, I was.
And, you know, that's tough and take it over. And then not only like once you took over, but also getting players to the game this year was another hurdle. Little weather situation.
85 players we had to bring in 3 days early. And I thought that it was really going to affect the drop rate, and it actually didn't. Actually, a lower drop rate than over the last 4 years.
Yeah, it was a rogue freeze, right? That came through.
And an ice storm hit Dallas. It actually hit parts of Atlanta. We had trouble getting some guys out of Florida because they were connecting out of Charlotte. We had to bring them in on Friday.
A lot of media members struggled to get there. So luckily, we're in Baton Rouge, so we could just drive over. But y'all did a great job there. The game's great as always. We love going. It's one of our favorite events to go to because it's the next wave. It's going to be the guys that are going to be pros. It's one last time we get to see them in their college uniform. And so I know that, they always talk about coaches always recruiting. You're always scouting.
Yeah, and the thing is like you said, it's really their first pro practice and their first pro game.
Yeah.
It really is. And the league wants the players to go through the whole process. Because what's important to find now are guys that love to play and be competitive, right? Because if you don't, you guys run an NFL locker room. If you're not competitive, you don't love the damn game, you're going to get your ass weeded out pretty quickly.
Quick. It'll expose you for sure.
Yeah, and those guys that stuck around, like my perfect example is Bryce Betcher, right? He got screwed. 2 linebackers on his side walked, like on Friday. So he was going to play about 15 snaps. He ends up playing like 40.
Right.
But he puts in 10 tackles, and he could have been damn MVP.
Right.
And he went from like a 5th-round pick to back end 3.
Yeah.
So, that showed everybody what kind of person he was and, what they were getting.
Yeah.
So it's important. And people don't understand that. And I keep saying this to people, too. It's a cheap ticket. Practices are free.
Yep.
Right? It's a cheap ticket for the game. Parking's cheap, right? The hotels don't gouge you for the game, right? And where can you find more draftable players at one place at one time?
Yeah.
Where?
Can't.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And one of the great stories to come, this is what the Senior Bowl's kind of all about. Garrett Nussmeier last year, bad last season. Of course, he was able to heal up from an injury that not a lot of people knew about, and goes out and has a hell of a week.
He does.
And could he have gone to a better spot for his potential future NFL career?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, being behind him, and he's going to end up playing eventually because Mahomes is going to go down at some point. Just because of the way he plays. The one thing I was disappointed what happened with Garrett is I know for a fact those conversations that were going on when they found out the medical, and it was like, everybody's got their own trainer. Everybody's got their own physician. And the comment, I know what the comments were. Well, is he going to be PUP? Is he going to need surgery now? Is he going to need surgery later? Can we invest in him right now, knowing this? That's what made him drop. But then he lands perfectly where
right.
I mean,
drop to the perfect spot.
Yeah, and Veach called me even. He goes, did you see anything wrong? I was like, no. I was like, he got healthy. I know that because he looked like a different animal at our game.
Yeah, he did.
Than he did during the year because he took a beating, dude. Yeah. I mean, he was hurt, plus he took a beating.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best quarterback conditions that week either. Cold, windy.
Yeah.
But the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday weren't bad. Like you said, a little bit of wind. But now Saturday was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold.
Yeah.
You know? I was down on the field going like, okay, can I go upstairs for a little while?
Right.
You know?
Right. Drew, we got about a minute left before we're out of here today. Give me one guy, doesn't matter what school, that you're most excited to have a conversation with and scout this year.
I already had a conversation with him.
Who's that?
Jabril Rawls.
Okay.
Florida State corner. He got hurt week 6 last year, and I'm calling it right now. He's a first-round corner. Yeah, and nobody's talking about him.
That's probably pretty exciting for you that nobody's talking about him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I got no place you can come.
Hey, I'll put it this way. It's already in the works. You know, it's already in the works.
And that's something.
I don't have to recruit these guys. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, They know that the value, they can grow their
no doubt.
their draft stock exponentially.
No doubt about it. Drew, we appreciate you hopping on with us. I know you've got 97 interviews to do. Nobody better to end our show with than Drew Fabianich, the executive director of the Panini Senior Bowl. So we appreciate you. I know we had some technical difficulties earlier in the show. We do apologize for that. But we'll be back strong as ever. LSU going to be here tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you. Go USA.
Off the bench.
Hey, go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go Tommy's, G-E-A-U-X, Tommy's with a Y.com. You will clearly see the difference when you work with Tommy and the team. Now, remember, it's more than just windows, doors, and siding. Now, they do that at an elite level, but they also can install some gutters on your home or business. There's a full list of services that they offer over on the website, gotommys.com. And again, that's G-E-A-U-X, Tommy's with a Y.com.
We're around a lot of teams that want to hang a banner this year. Well, a team that hangs a banner every single year since 2016 is Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So go check them out if you have a project happening. Maybe if you are adding on, maybe you're doing a little renovation, and you might want to talk to a couple different contractors about pricing, whatever fits. Make sure you do yourself a favor and give Tommy and his team a call to learn for yourself why they are the best every single year. GoTommys.com. GoTommys.com.